Hi everyone, it's Sierra again from Wild Fundraising, and today we're going to look at overhead costs and how to calculate them for any nonprofit. If you work with nonprofits, you've probably heard the term overhead costs before. It's kind of the big boogeyman in nonprofit finances these days, less so than it used to be a few years ago, but still a lot of people sort of take it as shorthand for whether a nonprofit is good or not. Overhead is basically all the costs that aren't direct program costs, and it's considered that the lower the overhead costs are as a percentage of the total budget, the better the nonprofit is. Whether that's really fair or not, it's sort of a topic for a much longer discussion. So today we're just going to look at how to calculate overhead for any nonprofit. Ready? Nonprofit is required to file their 990 statement and is required to make that statement publicly available. So you can just go to Google. There's lots of websites where you can find it on. We're going to type in Amnesty International, just because that's a really well-known nonprofit 990. And you can type the name of any nonprofit into Google. And then there's lots of resources, for example, ProPublica, which is, you can just click on it and it'll show it to you. There's some other ones, such as GuideStar, where you would have to open a profile, which doesn't take very long, but just so you know. But in Amnesty International's case, they actually have their 990 forms on their own website. So we're going to go there. And this is a tax return form. You can get a lot of really interesting information from it. And it has, depending on how large the nonprofit is, it could be, 5 pages long, or it could be 60 or even more pages long. So in this case, it's 60 pages. And we're going to scroll down to section 9. Or I guess here it would be in Roman numerals, so it would be IX. And that is the statement of functional expenses right here. Section, part 9. And so here we have 4 columns: the total expenses, program service expenses, management and general expenses, and fundraising expenses. And so in order to get overhead costs, you will add C and D, the total for C and D, which is right here, C and D. And then you will divide it by the total expenses for the whole organization, which is in column A at the bottom, line 25. So 2,914,263 plus 10,601,224 equals 13,515,487 divided by 51,400,349 is 0.2629. And that in a percentage form is 26.3%, which is the overhead costs for Amnesty International. And again, you can do this for any nonprofit because everyone's tax forms are publicly available, and just go down to part 9, the statement of functional expenses. Et voila, there you go. Thanks very much.